You decided to sell your home, or you're curious on what the forms look like in Alberta to list your home. Either way, here you are, and here we go. We're going to dive right in. We're going 20,000 foot view here. I'm not going to get too granular on it. We're going to skim over the basics on the listing agreement and what's to be expected, and the condominium schedule as well. I'm not going to read everything verbatim. I don't want to make you take a nap. So this is just to kind of run through the agreement, what is to be expected, and by the time you've finished watching the video, hopefully you have a good handle on what this agreement is and what that means to you. So plug in the agreement number here. The brokerage is the listing brokerage. The seller or sellers names go here. Municipal address goes here. Unattached goods included are added here. That's typically your appliances, your window coverings, your central vacuum system and attachments, garage door opener and remotes, anything, your hot tub, anything that you want to include in the sale, it's going to go here, with the understanding that all of those items included, unless otherwise noted, they need to be in working condition on the possession date for the buyer. If you're saying you're going to provide that fridge needs to be working when the buyer gets the keys. And if there's something that is maybe in as-is condition, then that needs to be noted in as-is condition ahead of time so that it's transparent and everybody understands where we're at with things. The attached goods except for, so any exclusions would go here. And an example of that might be great-grandmother's chandelier in the dining room with sentimental value. That would be plugged in right here. And I mean, personally, I would say that this would be dealt with during the home staging consult before even going onto the market. That we would recommend taking the chandelier down, replacing it with what's going to be there on the possession date, just so that there's no way the buyer gets fixated and wants to try to negotiate and get that chandelier. It's out of sight, it's out of mind, and nobody's going to make a deal about it, right? But if there is something and you just, for whatever reason, you're leaving it up, but it's not going with the property, this is where you would write that in. Your plan, block, and lot is another description similar to the municipal address. It just tells what that property is, where it's located. It's the legal description. Condominium property schedule, we'll get to that. Country residential property schedule, maybe in another video. I don't want this video going too long. We're going to offer the property for sale. This is the list price. It goes in here. I've done other videos on establishing the market value. So I'm not going to get into how do we select this price, but let's say this is a price where you're comfortable as sellers. I'm comfortable in recommending as a listing agent. So we put it in here. Proposed possession date varies. I would say on average, we're looking at about 60 days negotiable. If it's a vacant property, maybe 15 days negotiable would be going in here. We appoint, this is the brokerage representative, the listing agent, maybe yours truly. I don't know, maybe. Anyways, you could hire me and my name would go there. And then the listing agreement, the start date and the end date. In order to be on MLS, you need to be a minimum of 60 days for an MLS listing, but you want to make sure there's enough fuel in the tank, so to speak, to get you from list to sell. So I wouldn't recommend just the bare minimum for listing period. Obviously, we're going to do our best to get things moving as quickly as possible, but we want to make sure we have enough time to market the property. And it's going to depend on the market, the location, the type of property, the style of the property, the absorption rate, the time of year, a number of factors on how much time it will take to get the property sold. Your approval to install a lockbox would go here. I highly recommend having a lockbox. It really makes showings a lot easier. Dower consent, if you are legally married and there's only one owner on the land title for this property, then you would need to put in yes. And then if you or your spouse had resided in the property at any point since your marriage, that would be a yes. And at that point, 2 yeses means you need to go into the lawyer's office. The non-owner spouse needs to go into the lawyer's office and sign a dower consent form, just so that their interests are protected in this sale of property. The fee is the real estate brokerage fee plus GST, so the commissions. There are prevailing rates oftentimes, but as we say, all commissions are negotiable. So the fee goes in here, and then out of the total fee collected, then there's a certain amount that is offered to the buyer's representative, and that amount is written down below here. And then if you change your mind about selling and you're going to reimburse the listing realtor for expenses, that would go down here. I know everybody has a different take on it in terms of listing agents, so that would be up to the listing agent and up to the sellers on how we want to handle that. And then your disclosures here. So these are answers to these questions you need to be answering when you list. So, are you aware of any material latent defects in the property? Now, that's something that's not easily discoverable. Obviously, if you can see it with your eyes, that's a patent defect. That's not a material latent defect, but something that, like if there was a crack in the foundation and someone said, I'm just going to put up some drywall and just cover this up, that would be a material latent defect. You have to disclose that. Or are you aware of any defects that would be expensive to fix? Have you received any government or local authority notices? Answering that. And then, are you aware of any lack of permits for development on the property? So if you built a garage and you just didn't tell the city or anything, then you have to disclose that. And then that needs to be disclosed to the buyer, just because that's not fair to the buyer if they're not aware of certain issues that they might have to deal with, right? But if it's all disclosed up front, we can have a discussion about the best way to handle it, whether it's going retroactively, getting permits, or you just being transparent and letting the buyer make an informed decision. If there's any other terms of the sale, or the listing, they would go in here. And then we've got the seller's information, the brokerage information, the brokerage representative's information, and signatures. And then the non-owner spouse can sign here as well. This is not sufficient for dower consent. The official dower consent does need to be done in a lawyer's office. And then we'll get to so this is the listing agreement, exclusive seller representation agreement. And this is the schedule for a condominium. So the agreement number matches, make sure you have the same number. And then we get into describing the condominium unit itself, whether it's an apartment, a townhouse, whatever the unit is, it's noted here. If it's titled parking, it's noted here. Titled storage, noted here. If it's assigned, that means it's not owned, but it's still the owner of the unit has use to these assigned spaces, or I guess it could be leased with a lease fee as well. And then the space numbers are noted here. Whether it is a conventional or a bare land condominium, that your realtor will know if you don't know. If it is a bare land condo, you're going to need a real property report. And so your realtor will be asking you for that as well. And then project name, management company, phone number, email, website, and then the monthly condo fee. The contribution for all should be for all the titled units. So if it's an apartment condominium with a titled parking stall and titled storage locker, you would want to make sure you have the amount for everything, the condo fee for everything listed there. And then this mentions the documents that are to be provided for the buyer on on the offer to purchase, and your agent will be able to help you with collecting these documents and explaining what it all means as well, if you're interested in it, or they can just take care of it for you as well. So that is the condominium schedule. This is the exclusive seller representation agreement. If you have questions, let me know, or pop them in the comment section down below. And please subscribe if you like this content and you would like to see some more videos similar to this. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.